can't tell you how pleased I am that Stella Assange is on the call, but I wanted to just play a short. I know lots of people have been doing videos from yesterday. I just made a short video of my experience of yesterday's protest, I suppose, or celebration of Julian. I mean, circle around Parliament. I was worried it wouldn't get enough people, but this is what I saw of it.
Thank you.
Free Julian Assange!
Oh, let me do it. Go on.
Big up Christian! Free Julian Assange!
Well, thank you. We're just at the south side of the river overlooking the Parliament there, and Kevin and Pip are here, who've come all the way from
Dorset.
Dorset?
Via Somerset.
Via Somerset. What time was your coach?
7:45.
Quarter to 7. Anyway,
7, and then you've got to go back.
Yeah, tonight, and that's at 7:45
That's
tonight.
at 7:45 tonight.
Yeah.
And you're regulars on the show. You watch the show.
Oh gosh, day one, I think.
Yeah.
Day one, and it's your fault that we're here.
It's my fault.
On Wednesday, you were looking for people, so
You were really worried.
You were
that
worried.
we might not get enough.
and
So we were desperately started searching
Yeah.
coach companies
Yeah.
to try and get and we managed to get a place.
yeah, got a place.
So
Last two
we
places.
signed up to pledge that we'd be here,
Yeah.
and we got a reply, your number 3,842, and they said we need 5,000 to get round.
And they've done it. And they've done it.
There must be more than 5,000
Oh, absolutely, it's brilliant.
because they're really overlapping. It's been thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it that makes you suddenly think, I'm going to go to London, I'm going to walk there? I mean, what was the defining thing that made you inspired to do that?
I've been thinking how one could raise attention to the case. I've been part of a weekly vigil in Hamburg after he wasn't released out of prison. So when his bail sentence expired, those 50 weeks, I thought he should be a free man now, but he remained being in prison, and a weekly vigil grouped in Hamburg, and I joined it just by coincidence. I found them and been there for 2 years, and so I learned that the huge majority of the people just don't know who Julian Assange is, or that he's held in prisons in a maximum security prison with no criminal charges. And I started thinking, how could one raise attention? And this was one of the ideas, just to commit oneself to go there to start a protest which will require huge crowds going with me. Maybe I hoped for 1 million people in front of the prison. And yeah, when Priti Patel then had to decide that if Julian Assange is allowed to be extradited, I said now or never. Now it's time. We the people have to stand up for the people who actually work for our interests. And this was Julian Assange doing. He made a platform where documents in public interest were revealed. Whistleblowers gave them, so a big credit to the whistleblowers, but also to the guy who published them.
Join us is Stella. Good to see you, Stella. How you feeling this morning?
Well, exhilarated from yesterday. I can't tell you how happy I was, and I was just overjoyed to be able to tell Julian what a massive success it was. The turnout was, it exceeded all our expectations, because of course we knew there was a train strike and lots of people who were going to come wrote to us saying, you know, we can't come, we couldn't find a coach, we couldn't find a car, but so many people did show up, like many of your viewers. Thank you so much for coming. And what I came away with, I think everyone did, was, you know, the energy, the hope, the positivity, the kind of human solidarity, and I'd say optimism, and you know, the purpose that came out of that. Everyone said, well, when's the next one? And you know, I'm already thinking, and we had conversations last night about what the next one might be, and there will be a next one soon. And it's important to build the proof of the kind of life that's in a movement is the creativity of people like Collier. The whole idea of the surround parliament was a creative innovation, and you get these kinds of things out of a kind of, when a movement has energy behind it, and it really does. I mean, you just see it from the images. And it's funny because I was looking at the reporting about it. Reuters was there, Sky News was there. I don't know if there's any, there are some reports here and there, but it's incredible. They say hundreds of supporters, and that's mathematically impossible. And it's a very easy calculation to make. You know, the human arms wingspan, the ring around Parliament, you can measure that. It's just ridiculous that they'd report it that way. It's not a coincidence, but I don't think it matters, because the images are there, for history. We who were there saw it for our own eyes. There were many thousands of people, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the spirit was great. There was a great spirit. I mean, I don't often go to demos. I've got a little boy, and I managed to get down there and see that so many people. The sun was out. That the whole atmosphere was and I was thinking, I was the other side of the river from all the VIPs. I thought all the VIPs are up by the front of Parliament, and it was like, where were you on the chain? It was like it had a kind of Iraq demo feel to it. You know, where were you? What were you doing on that day? And I think it will always be remembered for being a great day out for people to see the solidarity there. And you're stoical about the lack of response from the media. It's like you expect that, really, don't you?
Well, I don't think it really matters. The police know, the government knows it was a success. They'll know the real numbers. We know. And we just have to keep working to spread the word. And the legacy media only has so much reach. I don't think that there's a, it is what it is. And I'll keep on repeating how much of an enormous success it was when I get an opportunity to be on the big channels. But we know what we've achieved, and we have to build on from here. And in fact, I saw El País and Fox News and others were reporting that there was about the human chain. In other countries, mainstream media have been reporting it. It's very funny to see how, for example, the Spanish public broadcaster was reporting on the human chain, but it's not on the BBC. But anyway, we know how it is. So,
well, we've got a little surprise here. We've got Jeremy Corbyn's joining the call. Thank you for coming on, Jeremy. You were there. You were up at the other side of Parliament. I saw footage of you over there, what I call the VIP section. How did you feel it went yesterday?
Well, let's be clear. There shouldn't be a hierarchy at a demonstration.
I'm joking.
A human chain. Morning, Stella. How are you? You were great yesterday. Absolutely brilliant.
I'm just so energized. It was so incredible.
And
really.
You and your lovely children look so happy to be there. It was wonderful. And I just think, picking up on what Stella just said, John Rees worked out that if you stand like this with your arms apart, it takes 5,000. Get my hand there, see it?
Oh
It
yeah,
takes
long
5,000.
wing. You've got a long wingspan there, Jeremy.
I've got big wings. Yeah, okay. Concorde wings, mate. Okay. So John Rees worked out it takes 5,000 with their arms stretched out to go around Westminster Bridge, alongside the river, Lambeth Bridge, and back to Parliament. Yeah. And after we'd done all the interviews and things, I then walked across Westminster Bridge over to by St Thomas's. And there were lots of people still there, even though it had kind of finished by that stage. And they were standing almost shoulder to shoulder in some places. So it's well over 5,000 that were there yesterday, well over. So I don't know the total number, but I guess somebody will somewhere. But I did about 20 interviews yesterday with various media outlets. And the interesting thing was they were from all over the world, more from all over the world than there were from the UK. And I find it quite extraordinary that the British media and journalists just simply don't seem to understand, even in news terms, the story that's absolutely in front of them about Julian. And it's not as if it was a difficult thing to report. It's a sunny day. It's at a weekend. It's in central London. It's not hard to get there. Mm. And so we've just got to keep up the pressure all the time. And the point I just made relentlessly in every one of my interviews was that the treatment of Julian is a warning signal to any journalist that gets involved in investigative journalism. Anybody anywhere in the world that thinks they know something bad about some other power's military activities or whatever else, they're going to think 2, 3, 4, and 5 times before they do anything, because they can see what's happened to Julian. So my appeal to all journalists is stand up for yourselves and stand up for every other journalist at the same time. But I think it's a great step forward yesterday. I know there's lots of legal processes still to go. But what I find is that when I discuss Julian's case with people in other countries, they understand and get it straight away, that how serious it is. It's there's a sort of mental block here on it. And I'll be in Strasbourg tomorrow for Council of Europe, and I'll obviously be talking to a lot of people there, along with friends in other countries who do support. And we did get quite a good statement through at the last session with the support of Irish and Italian friends. But I think the international work that Stella's been doing has been very, very important. And I'd love to hear a bit from Stella about how she's getting on with building the links and contacts around the world on this, and particularly in the USA.
Over to you, Stella. I'm out of this now.
Well,
no, you can say, Crispin. It's okay.
We're working hard in different jurisdictions. It's quite a challenge, I'm going to Brussels on Tuesday because Julian has been nominated for the Sakharov Prize. He's one of 6 nominees, and it will probably go to someone related to the Ukraine situation. That's our expectation. But the fact is that he's been nominated, and we're going to make the most of it. I'm going to go there on Tuesday, and there will be a session. We're going to go, well, not me, but Julian's brother is going to go to the US soon. And we have a parliamentary delegation in the works to go to the US and meet with US counterparts. Of course, everything's kind of a bit frozen now before the midterms, but hopefully things will start moving again after November.
Right. Well, look, I'm really pleased that you could come on, Stella, and thank you so much, Jeremy, for taking time out to come on as well. It's great to see you both. You've both done so much to inspire people on this call and elsewhere, and it is the spirit. We have to keep our spirits up, and going out yesterday, it lifted my spirits seeing you both in the morning has done it again today. So every day's a gift with you two. Thank you.
Crispy, can I just say one quick last word?
Yeah.
Everyone watching this, you can do something. You can obviously send emails around to all your friends to support the campaign. You can send emails to all of your MPs saying, what are you doing about this? And above all, if you've got any friends anywhere, particularly in the USA, contact them and ask them to make sure it's raised in the midterm elections as questions. And clearly, the pressure has got to be put on the Democrats and President Biden. Why did he pursue the appeal against the initial court decision in Britain? And we've got to put that pressure up. And we are looking at further direct influence in the USA, as Stella explained, after the midterm elections are over. But none of us are powerless in this. We can all do something. So to anyone watching this morning, thanks for yesterday. Thanks for your support. Please now do everything you can. Hit the keyboards.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, and thank you very much, Stella. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
And